Hello, people. Damn. I cut you guys all off. Nobody got to say hi today.
I didn't.
I was ready.
I actually deferred to Steve, so I'm surprised.
It has been...
I'm deaf in this year. I didn't see you.
It has been 6 long weeks, maybe even more than that, since we've been in here. We just got off of our winter break that we took for a little bit, celebrate the holidays with our families. I'm sure that everybody in this room, I haven't really talked to a lot of you guys often. I'm sure the holidays treated you pretty well.
Yes.
And we here at GTM hope that all of your holidays went well as well. And New Year, same old us. We're here to discuss Backyard Supremacy 3, right? Go around the room, say hello to the people. In the corner across the room from me, weighing in at approximately 135 pounds.
Yeah, fucking 10 years ago.
We have Hack Edgerman Anderson. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am great, man. I actually have a question for you. This is going to be a little weird, but I just want you to go with the first thing you could think of, okay? If you had to lose one of your senses, which one would it be? Right now, off the top of the head.
Smell.
Smell's gone. That's not a bad one. I understand. Why would you pick smell?
Because I can't imagine not listening to music and seeing things.
I feel that for sure. To his right, we have my favorite person on earth,
Hi.
Dominic. Hello.
Hi, how's it going?
It is great. So same question to you. What sense would you choose to get rid of?
So I am actually going to go with smell as well. I've thought about this before, and you know, it would never be good to lose a sense, but I can find a lot of benefits in losing smell, particularly for me. So definitely smell.
Yeah, like whenever you open up your refrigerator and you smell something that nobody else on earth does, but you know it's there.
It smells like a can of whoop ass, I'll tell you that much. Jeez Louise.
And I feel that for sure. We'll move on over to the guy to his right and my left. We have Steve. Hello.
How's it going?
It is fantastic. Same question to you, and go ahead and say hearing.
Ha ha ha. I'm going to say Hack Edgerman.
Wait, what was the question?
I don't know.
Me, I'm Rick. I'm Sick Rick, the kid with the hot bars. And if I had to lose a sense, I would choose taste. Is that a sense?
Yes.
Yeah, I was thinking that one.
So for me, it's like a double-edged sword, right? Because I work cooking food, so like I kind of need to know how stuff tastes. But at this point, I have like a mental checklist of what does what to food, so I could figure that out. As you could tell, I fucking love shit to taste good. So like if I could just kill taste and just be like, there's no difference between a celery and a Snickers, that would be great for me. So I would choose taste, no doubt about it. And now that we're all 1 cent shorter, let's get into today's episode. Backyard Supremacy 3 has some ground zero surrounding it. Last episode, we discussed the start of Revival, which was Just Another Super Show 3 and Midwest Extravaganza in Indiana. Hack wasn't here for that episode. Is there any specific thing you remember from me that you want to touch on?
I don't really remember JAS 3 too much, but Midwest Extravaganza, I don't know, just my match with Johnny Ladd, I really liked it.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
Not too much to say.
Yeah. What about the crowd at Midwest Extravaganza?
It was horrible.
Yeah, I feel that. I needed you to say that.
Why?
Just because he made me say it for the last episode.
So okay. I remember.
So I wanted to make sure that people heard him say that he didn't like it instead of just hearsay from me.
That's fair.
Right.
Absolutely.
But so that was that episode, and now we're going to move on to episode 8. First thing we have to jump into today is Ground Zero episode 16, which was a good run for us, the end of the year Ground Zeros. This match that we get into first here is the 3 boys.
Sick Rick.
We got a little Sick Rick, we got a little Fokelin, and we got a little Hack Edgerman in a triple threat match for the SWC title. Do you remember anything about this match particularly?
Not really, other than at this time I was still thought I was a heel, but in reality I should have just turned babyface.
Uh-huh.
So
I agree.
But I was so against being a face. Other than that, I mean, I honestly, no offense to you two, I don't really recall this too much, other than it being fun. But
it was definitely fun. One thing that I remember, and one of the reasons why you probably don't remember a lot about it, for the same reasons that I don't, is that I'm pretty sure Ed came up to the apartments this day with a notebook filled with spots, and he's like, this is the match we're doing.
Yeah, it was obviously the night before, but it was one of my typical staying up super late, way too late, and I just was planning spot after spot after spot because I was super excited to do this match.
And so was I.
And I just felt like this match had to happen.
Uh-huh.
And I'm glad it did, but in all honesty, if most people seen this live,
It was not good.
it was not good.
No. Yeah, we fucked up a lot of spots. We were laughing through half of it.
Yeah.
We did a lot of stuff over again. The music video, there's even stuff in the music video that looks bad. But honestly, like at the end of the day, this match wasn't great, and I wanted to say the same thing. But I am so happy we did it just because we wanted to do it. Like we needed to do it.
There's always a lot of hidden gems on Ground Zero.
No doubt about it, yeah. And spots in here are cool. Like, you can always reuse some of them later. The fucking package Rana that I've done a few times.
Yeah, that's one of the, like, it's like in hindsight, it's like, oh, yeah, we didn't really take it too seriously, but, like, we knew what we were working for.
Exactly.
It
So why?
was a spot fest.
Yeah,
and a
and,
half.
like, we knew it was going to be a music video. So why?
Steve misses
I
dive
actually
number
think
one.
you like said that during them. Like, it's a music video. Fuck it.
Yeah, right? Like, we knew
Ed,
the
did that
audience.
hurt?
Ed misses the dive.
He missed watching it too.
Yeah, I was talking
And
to
then
Steve.
Steve misses the dive.
I thought you were gonna keep going.
And then Ed misses the dive.
I remember that hurting like a motherfucker.
We should have kept
Amazing.
it off with the referee just coming in and...
Yeah, that was good stuff. We just, none of us hit the dive. Love to see it.
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
shit,
I like
that's
the
a nice
payoff
counter.
there. Yeah, that was sweet.
Nice bump, Steve.
Wow.
Come in and get him.
This is one of those matches that I watched recently that was like, wow, I do not know how to do a snapmare. And I've noticed it already, and I've already noticed one of my Irish whips looked really bad.
That was awesome.
That
It
was
had
good.
a little
Really
potential
cool.
to be better, but
Yeah, right.
Ed's movement in this match is like
You could tell.
prime, like he's in his prime. It's like the twilight of his career.
But like all of us kind of have a hint of tentativeness with the way that we're wrestling each other, honestly, I think.
I wonder if it's just because it's Ground Zero.
I think it is, yeah.
And I think Ed's, Ed is really...
that was fucking sick.
That was all you, buddy.
Oh, that was awesome too.
You could tell, like, Ed's working his ass off, like, how, like, passionate he is about it, where I
He
am...
almost hit you with your own finisher from back in the day.
1, 2, 3.
Wait, who won? It looked like...
What the fuck?
He's like, no, I won. Yeah, crank that shit.
Right? Why does he think he won?
Poor JP.
Dude, what? Me and you were boys, right? Yeah, I hit that move. It's totally cool.
Oh, I don't think so. Friendship don't matter to me with this.
I was
New
completely
champ.
on top of him, though. It's totally
So
cool.
was I, dude.
On
I
the
had my
fly?
arm over him and everything.
The conversation?
It was a double pin,
Yeah.
guys. Dude.
Double pin, I retain, right? I retain with the double pin. I retain.
I was trying not to
That's the
laugh.
case. Yeah, I guess.
I retain.
Yes.
I
anyone-
That's
retained.
fucking
Oh,
bullshit.
shoot,
Is
I'm
anyone
sorry.
gonna
We're
check
still
on
boys,
me?
though, right?
No,
I mean,
of course
that was
not.
fun.
Dead.
It was a good match. Look, we killed him. It's cool.
Yeah, kill him dead.
I want that
Now
fucking belt.
JP's checking on me.
Dude, no. This belt doesn't mean anything. It's about us. Fuck the belt. Just
You
fuck
think
the
there's
belt.
tension.
just because CTK got involved and Pokeland tries to ruin our fucking SWC, that I'm not gonna want the belt again. I'm gonna be on your side all the time.
That is the case, though, isn't it?
They're gone. He's out of the picture, and I want that belt.
He wants that belt.
Fuck our friendship.
Did you
You
really
said-
want it?
Yeah, and he said, fuck our friendship. So I got his face. I was like, all right, fuck our friendship. Let's go.
You were like, I
Damn.
got seriously pissed when you said that.
Jay Pizzle.
That was such a genuine promo, though. Like,
It was
it didn't look like we were trying.
It was
like,
so good. It was the best promo that we ever did. No doubt about it.
Did Josh just get there? Because I didn't even see him, or was he filming?
He's
Possibly
probably
could have been on
filming,
yeah,
camera.
that would make more sense.
But yeah, so what was kind of going on there was, as we talked about a few times already, after BYS1, Ed kind of got demoted a little bit.
Yeah.
And good old Sick Rick can't have none of that. So I need to make sure that Ed's doing big boy stuff, so I want to feud with him again immediately. Like, I
Yeah.
could have picked probably JP, but you were working your
Yeah,
stuff
that
with
was-
JP
yeah, I
that
was
was going.
feuding with JP.
And we didn't really have anything lined up for Josh, so it was kind of just like I picked between Ed or Josh. Josh was like a lackey in CTK for the
Yeah.
most part, so.
And there was also something we were kind of going towards with Josh.
right.
But I want to point out that with that double pin, that brings the win-loss record. Rick, that was your 18th win, and Ed, that was your 12th win.
Woohoo! 18!
Wow. Dang.
There's only been 18 ground zeros.
There's a couple, I'm including super shows, as long as the match has a SWC person. So no offense to Bone Crusher and Night Wolf, that doesn't, like
Yeah,
in the
right.
grand scheme of things. So I'm only counting those that has. So your match at WrestleFest 9, you were in that. Unfortunately, you did not win, but that would have counted. That would have counted.
Okay.
It's getting dark during this match.
It is. It's what's the date on this?
Exactly, that's what I was going to get at. This is already October, so like the light is short, and we just make do with what we can.
I got 11-4.
But you don't kick out of the head rush, that's for sure.
That is damn true, especially if you're JP and you kick Josh out of CTK the week before, which is kind of what that match was about. Like JP came in at the end of Josh's match, beat him up a little bit, so it's like, let's give him the 1v1 and see what's going on.
Which brings
Wait, was
Josh's...
that the whole show? That was the whole show?
For that Ground Zero 16,
Okay.
yeah.
Good matches.
That brings Josh to 9 wins at that point, and JP at 7.
Oh, man.
It's close.
Damn.
Poor JP.
Are you keeping track of everybody?
I literally did a lot of backtracking.
All right,
here.
I want to do an over-under on my total matches when he's done.
How many like matches you had or wins?
Yeah, just matches.
Oh, I think I know the exact number, so I'm
Oh,
not
man.
gonna. I
All
can't
right.
get in on
And
this.
then I'm not going to be doing that for
Right.
every episode. I just want
don't.
to, put it out there of like, okay,
Update it. This is
yeah,
what's
at
going
this
on.
point, that's the amount of effort that I put into
Yep.
this to actually be
gonna say
down to the match.
10 matches
well,
then.
you didn't say how many wins you had though.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes. At that point, I was going into that match with 14 wins. So it's Rick 18, Ed 12, me 14, JP 7, Josh 9, and then there's other people.
Are you
also.
tracking losses too?
No, I'm not.
Oh, okay.
No,
Then
just
I
wins.
see. Never mind then.
So that was Ground Zero 16, and essentially, like I said, I was just doing that to set up a little bit of me versus Ed. So at the end of the promo there, Ed said, "I'll see you. We'll fucking do this shit next week, right?" So next week is Ground Zero 17.
Ground Zero 17.
Ground Zero 17.
Hell yeah. You did a good job.
I do believe I cut out the last scene of this video for the best.
Yep.
The stage. Well, how'd you do that?
It's magic. Super Phoenix versus Focalin.
Yeah.
So this is during the Focalin downward spiral,
Yeah.
if you would like
Yep.
to call it something. And he just needed to get back on track. So why
Yep.
not wrestle Super Phoenix, right?
Did I want to say I also conveyed that, like I showed up and it was like, you know what, I'll wrestle whoever. I don't even
Yep.
care. So like wasn't in gear like specifically to show that like I wasn't taking it seriously, but
Yeah.
was still trying to take it seriously.
Yeah, you had like bandana kick pads.
Yeah.
I don't know why everybody takes Super Phoenix so lightly.
Yeah. I don't know.
Because he misses the splash and loses. That's all he does.
Let's be honest. At this point, Super Phoenix has no wins going into this. So I think I
That was
picked
a
a good
spot,
opponent.
by the way.
Yeah, that was sick.
Wow, only none.
Oh, wait, what?
One,
1, 2, 3.
Are you
Super
kidding
Phoenix
me?
Wow.
Focalin?
Oh, shit.
Are you kidding me?
I think the Phoenix is burning out again.
Wow.
Need to cut another promo.
Yeah, that's why he's Super Phoenix and he's just regular Phoenix. It just is what it is.
Actually, that makes sense. It's all about matchups.
Yeah, right. It's like Bill Belichick, John Harbaugh, and Mike Tomlin. It's like rock, paper, scissors, you know?
Hell yeah.
So this, I'd like to point out, Quinn is back. I think the last time we saw him was a random Ground Zero after BYS won, and he fell off the face of the earth.
Yep.
So I just want to point out that is the.
This
was
is
very-
his 9th return.
Ninth.
We just
Yeah,
didn't make a
pretty
big
much.
deal
Wow,
about
Okay,
it.
Chris Jericho.
This match is good, though.
Well, I mean, no, this makes sense too, right? Because Quinn was gone while all the CTK stuff was burning out, and he comes back to find out that JP kicked out everybody. So it's like, well, then fuck you, then I'm gonna fight you. And we booked Quinn to start doing that front uppercut plant thing that Makabe does to the back, and it looked really cool when Quinn did it because he's big as fuck.
3 wins going into this, Quinn is, which shows you started all the way back at JAS 1, Ground Zero 1. Quinn has. Oh, look at this. Oh, still animosity between old folk and JP.
Oh,
1,
Big side
2,
effect.
3. Wow, and he won.
Here we go, best match
Here we
ever.
go.
is someone holding the stage up now?
Me. Look at that guy, fucking gangster. That's the coolest I ever looked in wrestling,
This is sick, Rick.
bro. Wait till you see this match.
Is this for the title?
This is for the
Yeah.
title. That's why he held it up. This is
what I thought.
yeah.
On
this is-
Ground Zero 17?
That was a nice edit, Eric.
Thank you. And yeah, so I went super hard on this one because I wanted it to stand out.
Super hard on the editing? Or
Yeah, super hard on the edit on the match. The match itself, obviously, I went crazy. This is the best match I'll ever have in my life. Yeah, me and Ed are just better than everyone. So. But no, the thing about this day was, as we'll see here in a minute, literally right here, it was to set up something a little bigger. Hatchet driver already.
Oh, wow.
Got to win. He can't kick out of it. I hear foot. What?
What in the world? Wow, what an asshole.
That's you.
Yeah, he's an asshole.
Why'd you do it?
Because I still want the title back. I don't want to.
We were just in a triple threat, right? Yeah.
And then they made me a little dork.
Dude, I had no fucking idea.
I thought he was over with.
I thought that triple threat was just gonna.
I thought the triple threat would be all we needed to do, and then he would just stop bothering us, but it was cool, though.
What was awesome, the fact Jim was beating me.
Oh shit!
What in the world? I thought there was animosity. I could tell. That's your friend, Hack Edgerman.
See what happens there.
So,
What'd I say at the end there?
you said BYT. We'll see what happens there.
Oh fuck!
Wow.
What
but
were
we're
you
not
talking
here to
about?
talk about BYT today, are we? We're here to talk about Backyard Supremacy 3.
Yes. Funny how that works.
Is this canon?
The plan for this show, you go ahead if you remember.
So I was actually thinking about this today. Then I started to get the itch because, we wanted to do a super show in November, and this might just you may have more actually your memory on this better than I do. So I pitched, well, let's do BYT. BYT meant a lot to me. I mean, that was my first super show, and I had reached out to Lee. Lee had expressed interest in wrestling me to finally have our match. I'm like, well, let's call it BYT. One of the other, I don't know which happened first. So I reached out to Kay. I was like, yeah, sure, go for it. So I was going to it was kind of be my show.
Right.
But then a lot of stuff went down. Like I remember there was the weather could have been bad. So a lot of people weren't feeling that. And specifically, I remember, I'm not going to name names. I remember somebody messaged me and said, I want nothing to do with JP being there. He is pissing me off.
What?
Damn.
JP was causing a lot of shit back then on the board, just being JP, that some people just wanted nothing to do with him. He wasn't doing anything groundbreaking. He was just picking at people, starting fights, right?
We can picture it.
Yeah, right? Yeah, and he would do that all the time.
But
and
people were just not having it.
They were annoyed with him and wanted, they just didn't want to be around him. They're like, which I'm not saying everyone dropped out for that reason. I got at least one of those messages.
Yeah, right.
And it kind of made me mad because JP was also derailing the people that, were still interested in doing it, and maybe they could have used that as an excuse. Maybe they just weren't feeling it. Standing outside in November, it is what it is.
Absolutely.
But I definitely got one of those messages.
It was supposed to be a big show, right?
Well, the first idea was so BYS 1 and BYS 2 I booked, and then BYT was Steve's brainchild, like he said, and I didn't even know that Kale was the BYT guy or who you would even talk to about getting that name, right?
Yep.
So Steve's just hits me. He's like, yo, we got to do another show. I want it to be BYT. Lee Andrews is coming. But if for whatever reason this isn't BYT quality by the time we get to it, we'll just go with BYS 3. And I'm like, I'm about it. Of course, let's run another BYS,
And that's not to say that I felt that BYS was lesser than BYT or anything. I wasn't doing
I totally
anything.
get it.
Yeah, it was
I
just
felt the same way at the time. It's why use that name if we're not
Right.
going to do something
Special
good with
or
it?
different.
Special,
Right,
yeah, not just
exactly.
good. It had
Yeah.
to be, as we literally end up doing 2 years later, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly,
we expand upon this idea and do it in the future.
Do you remember anybody specific that
Other
you were
than
really excited to show up for your BYT? If
Other
it happened?
than the person that initially that messaged me and said I'm not coming, because that stuck out, because I wanted to be call out JP for it, dude, knock it the fuck off,
Yeah.
because of this. But I'm I'm not even gonna deal with that. Other than that person and the Fed they were with, I don't really recall. I remember there being interest in because I remember kind of getting bummed out watching them drop out like flies. This fucking sucks.
Yeah.
But in thinking about this today, how cool is it in hindsight that you came to me talking about a super show you wanted to do. And I was like, just to let you know, like, it's hard. Like, Lee Andrews did a show, you know, like, this is going to be difficult. You know, like, not necessarily like you can't do this.
Are you talking about the one that no one was able to come to?
Well,
BYS
Andrew's show.
Yeah. A lot of people dropped out from the Link days. And I was just letting Rick know, like, hey, you know, like, if you don't have the best reputation, people aren't going to come thinking about the Link. Because Rick and Eddie didn't have the best reputation.
I see.
I wasn't aware of the GBYWN. And then BYS1 was obviously a huge success, right? So then here's me with quote-unquote my show, and my show, like, that's fucking great, right?
I mean,
I love that.
Story-wise, sure. Like, in the grand scheme of the book that we wrote, yes.
No, that's great. Well, I was saying, I was just thinking that today. I'm like, isn't that great?
Like ironic.
Yeah, like, I got a taste of my own. Like, not that I was, like, doing it maliciously, but it's
Right.
like, fucking, like, yeah.
Hey, sometimes the shows don't work out.
Yeah, right? And essentially, that's what I was, you know, saying
Warning,
to you,
right,
right? Yeah.
And we got KPW in Ohio. That was it. Right?
We didn't even get KPW,
Yeah,
bro.
shout out to Ohio.
Literally just CBYW. But I heard some rumors that there was going to be a big surprise at this show.
Sounds like a surprise to me.
So because I heard these rumors, I went on an adventure to find out who the surprise was.
Okay, I got it now.
Oh, man.
I forgot all about this.
Oh, God.
Get ready.
Fucking early.
Two.
You get
I'm
it.
going to be laughing a lot, so I should get away from the mic.
Look at me.
Did you time it to be that time?
Yes.
Or? Okay. That's good. Wakes up with the belt.
I'm the champ, bitch.
I want to say we filmed this on Friday.
Yes, we did. After Lee was already in town.
All right, everybody has to be quiet.
Shut up.
Eric, what are you doing?
I told you, Kobe Scott!
Sorry.
Where's my elbow
Was
pad?
she in on this?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
I'm lariat people without a fucking elbow pad.
I can't lariat people without a fucking
Mom,
elbow
where's my
pad.
elbow pad?
Mom, where's my elbow pad?
I'm here on the table.
Look, no legs.
Dang.
Right.
This is pure gold. I don't
So
care what
good.
anybody says.
I should make that my back.
I should make that my background.
Dom, have you ever seen this?
No, this is a first for me.
Oh, that's a familiar looking white Dodge pulling up to me. Maybe I should grab my hoodie.
No, you don't recognize that Dodge.
Skull Kid here yet? No, really.
Good timing on that. No!
I gotta go down to Ed's house. Ed definitely knows. Did a lot of drugs on that porch.
Same.
What's up, man? You like these more? Skull Kid here yet?
I say move.
Yeah, but the look on your face and the disgust that you had, phenomenal. Whose house is that?
Is that Josh's house?
That's JT Booty Bopper.
Yeah, I was
Is
going
it?
to say.
Fucking car salesman extraordinaire.
What's up, man? It's Scott Hanson
Hey,
here.
how you doing?
Scott Hanson, he's the dude that does the really stiff lariat.
What's hilarious?
It would have been better if Josh's mom joined you on the
Yeah,
porch.
right. I gotta talk to Steve. It's his show. He's gotta
Literally,
know.
nobody ever comes to my house from that direction.
That's true.
We all park on the side
Yeah.
and come up.
I didn't even recognize the house from that angle.
I haven't even been in a car. I've just walked to all these places.
That's true. You have.
Probably could have stopped at Steve's house on the way to Josh's.
Scott Hanson here?
No Mormons.
What do you say?
No Mormons.
Was this video filmed before or after the wasting time with time well wasted videos? After, okay.
What's up? Never mind. Scott hasn't here yet. You know what?
Perfectly timed motorcycle.
I mean, look, you've been hyping up this surprise, and I know.
You know, I'll tell you, but I think we should do it in a more, public area, so. What the?
How do you guys keep doing this stuff?
So, yeah.
What the fuck?
Dude, you are serious.
So Dominic, Scott Henson's finisher, or not finisher, but one of his big moves is called "You Sunk My Battleship,"
Wait, no, let's get back.
and he dresses like a tiger. So I'm just in Walmart with a battleship and a tiger.
That's pretty clever. I like that.
I'm thinking of Battleship.
He's not coming.
He's not coming at all.
I'm not working.
What store is this?
Walmart.
I'm not lying.
You've been hyping the surprise for weeks now. You said that I was gonna wrestle Scott Henson. That's exactly what you said.
Did I say that? I didn't say that.
I think we have an elbow pad.
That's not what I said. Fine. Okay, if Scott's not coming, then who am I gonna wrestle?
Michael Jackson.
I was a huge fan of Scott Henson.
That was so fucking unexpected. I knew it was going somewhere, but that was good.
You know, a lot of people were fans of a lot of yarders. I'm not afraid to admit that type of thing. It's like, these are the dudes we looked up to and wanted to be more like, like we saw what they were doing and we wanted to either do it too or be a part of what they were doing. Either way, we saw people doing stuff. We liked what they were doing and we also wanted to be involved.
It inspired you.
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people had a lot of people that they looked up to. It's just maybe mine was a very vocal one, and obviously Brandon was pretty vocal with his and Devin to an extent. But for the most part, most people had people that they watched, but maybe didn't talk about as often as we talked about the guys that we liked.
Dude, you didn't let us post that on the link, huh? I don't remember.
No, we posted it, and Scott Henson literally
He called you out,
Yeah,
didn't he?
he made a message about it. He was like, I was informed that there was a promo about me that I had no idea about, nothing to do with, and I'm just wondering why this happened. And it's like, because it was for the lulz, dude. Like, it was a joke.
He was upset about it?
No.
Knowing, curious.
Knowing how Scott now, that would definitely be I've been informed that there's a video about me, and
Okay.
what is this all about?
I'd be flattered.
Yeah, kind of like I'm flattered and like, this is ridiculous. What is going on?
Absolutely,
like, legitimately like confused.
Like I said, we all had stuff that we looked at or looked up to. Like, was there any specific yarder that you watched a lot of that you wanted to be more like, or maybe a show that you saw that you're like, I need to be a part of that?
Yeah, actually, Evan Extreme from VXW up in Massachusetts. He was from the WrestleFigs. He was a trampoline fed. First person I ever saw do a 630, and I was like, "Well, that was really cool."
Hell yeah!
And then they made a base, and that was the first base I ever saw. Yeah, Evan Extreme was definitely my guy.
Right, exactly. And Ed, you had a person or two that you looked up to.
I remember really being into Arbo
and Hitler.
Oh yeah, Hitler.
Yeah, and I mean, me.
That's okay. So that's not Hitler.
I have previously explained that, but I guess if everybody's new to, you assume everybody's new to every podcast. Jonathan Hitler was the name of a backyard wrestler. I think a lot of his stuff just says like Johnny H now. If you want to find him, he was incredible, still is incredible, very nice guy. But we all had these things, so like it wasn't just me, but like I said, I was probably the most vocal, so let's go ahead and make a fucking parody of it,
It was very wasting time with time. You had asked Dom if it was before or after.
Yeah.
I assume you got the same vibe from it.
It felt like a similar idea.
Yeah,
so
sister to it.
But
Yeah.
that was when we played it the other day. That was the first time you saw it.
Yeah, right.
So like,
Really?
isn't it funny how like history continues to repeat itself in just different ways?
Yeah,
it's very
even now,
unique.
right?
Yeah.
But that whole thing was about who was the surprise for BYT, which ended up being Backyard Supremacy 3. And we're going to jump right into Backyard Supremacy 3 here and check out day one.
Was there a surprise for BYT? that show? Was it Lee?
It was me. It was me.
It was you?
Yeah.
Hey, let us know if we're boring you.
Well, I feel like in the Scott video, like as soon as you see Lee in the car, you're
That
like,
is the
that's
surprise.
fucking like that's how I would look at it.
I wasn't sure if because like at this point we realized okay, no one else was
Right.
coming. Yeah. So.
And I just no-sold Lee the first time in
Yeah.
the car and then
And
see
then
him at the
at-
door,
yeah.
you know, like.
and all you care about is Scott. It's like a
Oh,
play
that
on.
makes more sense.
Right.
I get it now.
Right. And the thing about Backyard Supremacy 3 Day 1 is it is the first of only 3 music videos of any super show that we ever had that wasn't made by me specifically. We had Lee Andrews there. I would venture to call him probably the best editor in backyard wrestling history, up there with Matt DeMorris, Anarchy Andy, Sick Rick, a couple other people. But Lee Andrews is definitely fucking up there, you know what I'm saying? So he went ahead and made us this unforgettable video that plays in my head at least once a month. We got to turn the volume off for it, though, because we'll get in trouble.
Also, it was the song. He'd asked me what to use, and this was a really like fuck around show. Like literally, it was like, well, who wants to wrestle who? So like, it's like I guess I'll wrestle Quinn or whatever, you know. And multiple people wrestled several times because it was actually pretty nice out, and we just wanted to make the most of it.
So any weather concerns were just so wrong. 'Cause
Yeah.
it was a beautiful weekend.
Bummer, but
So I'll run through some of the matches that happened here real quick while we're looking at it. We got Falkland Quinn, Falkland Katonic, JP Katonic, JP DC Doom, Rick DC Doom, Josh Beast Snow, and Beast Snow Lee.
Didn't I have to work this day?
I was going to ask you why you didn't wrestle.
I think
would
I was
assume
there
yes.
for like the first half hour of like everybody getting there, and then I had to leave for work.
Yeah.
well, that's probably
'Cause
why
it was a
everyone
Friday.
canceled because they heard you weren't going to be there on
Right.
Saturday.
Ed's not wrestling Saturday, and Rick's stealing him for day 2, so why even go?
What's the point? And this is because of the loose structure of just like fuck around. Essentially, this is a ground zero. We should have just
Right.
called this ground zero.
I agree.
Day,
Yep.
you know, whatever.
Yep.
So it's like, well, let's do a mixed order one because there's so many things. And then Lee putting in some of the hangouts was pretty cool. And
Yeah.
then with Fireflies being the thing is like such a product of its time. We'd mentioned that before.
Yep.
About how it dates it but takes us back. It's one of my favorite videos.
I agree.
Never mind the fact that
Ooh.
it's. He spits water in your
He
face.
did, but afterwards he came up to me and he was like, "Thank you for being professional and taking that like a champ." Like I appreciate that because like I could have got real fucking mad.
Right. But you had met the day before too. So.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, it's funny how cool this video is, and like despite the fact that I remember I ripped my pants right in the crotch.
Yeah.
Watch, right there, you see?
That match was 3 spots.
Yep.
It was tombstone off the bench. That's the whole match.
I remember Quinn kept fucking it up, and Lee was like, "You had 3 spots, and you fucked them all up." And Quinn never came back.
Yeah, this is not his last match.
It's up there. It might be.
Yeah, it could be. It
I'm pretty
actually
sure
could
it
be.
is. Yep.
Damn, bro.
What?
At least
Me and DC Doom had a good in that day too. That was a fun one.
you'd work together at BYS 1.
Right. Which is astonishing that I was so quick to be like, yeah, dude, break my neck
Yeah,
again.
right. Well, there's probably revenge there. The fact that some of us aren't even wearing shirts.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, sometimes, weather can be very surprising in November.
Yeah.
And, like the first BYT, my dad wasn't too excited about going and staying outside. Look at this. But it was actually like really warm outside.
Yeah.
And same here. I remember one of the things is a lot of people just wore like sweatpants. Like, well, let's just wrestle in our sweatpants. So we did.
I feel like Katonic wrestled every one of us this day.
Yeah.
Like every single person in a 1v1.
Now, that being said, there's no definitive wins and losses in this video. We don't have any way to retrieve it. So no wins and losses are going to be added to this.
Definitely.
No wins.
Yeah. This was bad. This wouldn't even be a ground zero. This should have been like sloppy firsts.
Yeah, I get what you're saying. Plexfest 1.
Yeah, right. No, Plexfest 1 was in 08. Yeah.
Oh,
It was
okay.
fucking legendary.
Legendary. The Genesis bump on the fucking wood. So this is a great shot. Love seeing
Yeah.
this. All of us up on Mount Washington. Lee walks up behind us with the camera, peeks the great city. And then this was right after we did the Scott Henson promo. Like we just kept hanging out that whole night, ended up down in the city, fucking showed it off. And
Yeah.
like we do at almost every show, because if you haven't come to notice this by now, us Yinzers are very proud of the city that we're from, and we love it, and we think it's beautiful, and we think it's better than your city, and that's probably just because it is. Day 1 was random as shit. Day 2 was a big day. The people everybody that was there took day 2 very seriously. We got to see JP versus B Snow for the first and maybe only time. We had the big title match between me and Ed to blow off our championship little 3-week feud that we're having. And it was booked beforehand that it was going to be you and Lee. I guess people knew that, right? Into, like, it wasn't a surprise that you were wrestling Lee on day 2.
That was the idea.
Right.
That, finally we get to have our match that we were supposed to have because we were a tag team back in ESW.
So day 2, we all knew that was going to be a big day, and we treated it as such. Yet another music video made by Lee Andrews, which takes a load off of me. It was fine with me. AJ Todd versus DC Dizzle.
That's an interesting matchup.
Right, absolutely.
Did we have to wait a while for these videos? I remember being pretty anxious. But I don't think it was too long.
It wasn't, because the shows weren't very big, so I don't think it was too long. But Lee did take his time a little bit more than I did, but that's probably a good thing. Like, I rushed my shit occasionally just to get media out there so people could see it.
I also see there's multiple angles too.
Uh-huh.
So it's probably harder for him to acquire that footage from people that he didn't know.
Right.
Lil Ryder
versus
Oh, he
Quinn.
wasn't on day 1.
Yeah, right. And this is apparently Quinn's last match, right?
Yep.
This match rules, actually. The last 2 spots that they do are dumb. Let's go, Ryder.
Look at Quinn with his glove. Oh! Jesus.
With the SVR muscle buster.
Should have just been that first move.
Then we got Jay Pizzle versus B Snizzle.
It took a second.
I know. So we'll get into this here right now. Might as well. The one benefit of Lee Andrews' music videos, non-stop action. Every single clip, like, you barely have enough time to talk about what you just saw before it's to the next thing.
That's true.
That was so cool.
Ooh, that
that
was
counter.
I agree. Great counter.
That was probably one of JP's best indie kicks.
Uh-huh. But, like, those last 4 spots were so, like, enthralling.
Yeah.
That, like, we couldn't say a word about it. It was just clip, clip,
Bang,
clip.
bang,
and
bang, bang, bang.
That's how Lee went about editing so that he could make the entire video good.
Why
keep
was I the
action
bad
up.
guy?
You turned
You
heel
fucking
on
turned
Rick.
on me.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And then you smacked me.
You prick. How could you?
Because this would have been your first time as a heel, right? Other
Yeah.
than when you drew on your stomach with marker.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, and that's not even because of what you wrote, but just I hate anybody that draws on themselves with marker. Why did we start a pseudo fire?
It was, I don't know.
So this was an ode to Jonathan Hitler.
Right, but it was done perfectly.
Yeah, that was really smooth.
And this actual part of the video here, you could tell that the widescreen's a little different. It's because it's my music video that I threw in here. Just because, like we were saying about Lee's editing, it is bang, 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 but he leaves a lot of stuff out that people probably want people to see, right? So, like, this was my version of the match. And
Sometimes
I'm the
it's the entire end of the move.
Yeah.
Right.
At least for me.
Right. And we'll talk about that more around BYS 4 times. But I just wanted to make sure that the viewers here were able to see my version of the match and what I wanted it to be and not what Lee saw whenever he made his edit. So
I mean, when we planned this as this is the match for us. And we made sure we told the story and did it properly, I guess you could say.
Yeah, absolutely.
That would make sense why you'd want to have your own edit.
Yeah, you want to see everything because, I mean, we put a lot of work into this.
For sure.
For every idea that we had into this match meant something to us in some way or another.
Yeah, and I don't remember much improvising. A lot of this was planned.
Right. So, like, everything was... It was either built off of itself, built off of us, or an ode to one of our favorite things. So, like, he did the Hitler thing at the beginning there, and I forget who I stole stuff like that from. I want to say Ricky probably, but like, this was the only thing improvised. I was tired, so I snapped that over and kicked the shit out of it.
Yeah.
Now, do you think that the reason why you were so storyline driven?
Hold on, this is important. So that right there was supposed to be the spot where
that hurt my back a lot.
I was gonna say it looked like it did.
We saw a Dragon Rana reverse Rana in a Link video, and we tried to pull that off, but we botched the spot a little bit, so I just picked him up and we did that.
Oh, took his head off.
Fucking amazing spot right
Great
here.
knees to the face. Boom. Pop the crowd. Even the little kids were loving that spot, dude.
Yeah, how cool is that they came for this?
Right.
Like,
absolutely.
Just made it feel a little bit cooler.
Yep.
That we had a little audience.
Absolutely. A literal little
Yeah.
audience. Fucking good old Ed coming up with 70 reversals just to get to this.
There you go. That was sweet. Now, do you think that you're really story-driven based in this match because your previous one would have been our match and how many callbacks we had?
I think that's part of it, but I know me and Ed just always wanted to get better and top everything we did before. So I think every time we learned something, we kept it, you know?
Well, yeah. I mean, like, anybody can just go in there and, pay homage to their favorite wrestlers. But did you have story threads throughout other matches before BYS 2?
Probably not.
Yeah.
Probably not very often.
So, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah.
Was this our last one-on-one match?
That was my
1,
favorite bump
2,
ever.
3.
Favorite bump I ever took. I put you over like a motherfucker.
Yeah, you did
there.
take that like
champ.
a beast. I remember you telling me, like, I'm going to die when you give this to me.
Right.
Wow.
And I even told Caleb, I was like, if it's not the grossest thing you've seen this weekend, tell me and I will kick out of it. And
Yeah.
Caleb leaned over. He's like, it was amazing. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
There you go.
And that match meant a ton to me, and it was fucking perfect. Everything that we wanted it to be. And it, what more
Definitely
can you
our
say?
best match ever.
Definitely.
And it was our last match, wasn't it? Our last one-on-one? No?
Ground Zero 25 in the ring. We'll talk about it.
Oh, God.
So, yeah, it's really cool to see how far Yins had come. That was like, okay, now we've learned some stuff. We're more comfortable with what we're doing. Let's go ham. So, like, just comparing that to previous stuff, it's awesome.
Yeah.
This is just Lee reflecting on the fact that we are a tag team, from the past, that even if, the new GBYWN kids didn't realize the significance of this.
Right.
And Lee wore his old gear that he wrestled other than without a shirt.
Yeah,
But
right.
wait a second. Why did he push JP? That was kind of interesting. Lee, that was kind of a dick move.
Yeah,
Lee,
Lee's
that
supposed
was
to be
weird.
a good guy.
Yeah, we're a babyface team.
Whoa!
Look at that.
What the fuck? Where did Folkland go? He didn't take his medicine that day.
Yeah, so I busted out the old gear.
It's a tall kid over there.
And it was supposed to be
What the hell?
It was supposed to be a flashy. These are the flippy, flashy kids tag team. A fight between, a match between friends. And Lee comes out and heels out on me, and now it's a fight. So we intentionally wanted to go against the grain, even if the GBYWN kids didn't know. You
Right.
know, the Link guys wouldn't. And he busted me open. What is it? This is personal. This is weird.
This is PG-13, and I don't
Yeah.
think those kids are old enough.
So yeah, somehow this didn't get flagged on YouTube. Still readily available to watch anytime you want over on the SWC Backyard Wrestling channel.
I didn't know it could for blood.
Yep.
Oh, interesting. Also, he did a moonsault. I was speaking when it happened, and he threw his arm back as like a celebration, but it was like right at the exact moment I was selling by sitting up, and he elbowed me in the temple, and he wasn't even trying to.
Oh, shit. Nice counter.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is back to the Lee edit.
Yeah. Did you edit that previous match back then, or is this is that a
No,
current
that was
now?
back then. That was a throwback. Actually, Ed did ask me like 2 weeks ago, though. He's like, you should re-edit that match. 15th anniversary of it's coming up.
Wow.
I'm like, nope, not doing it.
Dom, what do you think about this?
Oh!
Right, this right now?
Incredible.
I think it would knock the wind out of me.
I felt that for a week straight, and I had gone on record and said I will never do that ever again, and I couldn't figure out for the longest time why it fucked me up so bad. And rewatching it recently, I did not bump that correctly at all. I tensed up, I pulled my arms in, and just took the brunt of it.
Very stiff.
You took it in your chest.
Yeah. I think I was probably worried about now Lee's busted open as well. I was probably worried about slapping the ground and the falling aspect of it. But also really weird is I remember as the move was happening, as he was running, I got the strangest deja vu. So it was a phenomenon that was happening. But it was really weird because I couldn't even say that I got hit in the head and then experienced the deja vu. It was like, this is really weird.
Yeah, right.
That was disgusting.
So nasty.
I actually found that armband today, but I only found one. I was going to bring it, but
Nice. Armbands are fun, especially whenever they are a unifying armband.
yeah, that was a legit botch right there. I had lost sight of him. He's like, I'll just double back and make it look like because your arm.
Yeah,
hurt.
right.
And I was like, that didn't really make too much sense. But
That's what I thought at the time, too. Like, you could have probably just cut that whole thing out.
Yeah.
It wasn't necessary. But whatever.
Oh, I was not excited for that because I knew that I'd just taken a power bomb to the outside.
Was that planned?
Yeah, that was the finish.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
9, 10.
Count out finish.
You want
All
me?
right.
You want me to? What's he say here?
He's saying 5 more minutes. Let's do 5 more minutes.
Except for nah, I'm out.
Nope. What a jerk. And
Is
that's
there a reason
it.
why you did that?
That was Lee's idea. He said, well, that'll really like piss him off. And he's like, and then we can maybe do a rematch. And I was like, all right, I don't care. Whatever. If that's what you want to do. He was going into this as like, maybe I can start doing this again.
And it never happened.
And whatever. Like kind of start wrestling more regularly. So kind of a way to, plant the seeds as something else. But there may have been more to that. I just don't remember.
Thinking about that now, like, let's just say that there's a world where Lee didn't retire at BYS 4, and that was like the beginning. Like, how many cool matches we could have had with Lee and other people, like how many doors could have been open to eventually, like, me and Ed versus Steve and Lee or something like that. Like,
yeah, that would have been sick.
Right.
I feel like there may have been talks of something like that because he was so gung-ho to wrestle again and be involved again. I think there were, now that through bringing bells, that I feel like there were talks of that happening. So that we were going to have like a match and then do like a blow off or whatever. And then he would start coming up when he could. And then I guess at the time of this particular show, he was like, I don't know, maybe he wasn't feeling it. So
speaking on that, I mean, you talked to him and got some comments from him, actually.
I did reach out to Lee. About something completely...
Segue master over here,
Yeah,
no
that
big
was
deal.
good. So I reached out to him to see what his thoughts were. He said that he remembers being really excited for BYS 3, mainly because both me and JP, who he had known, was going to be there. There were possibly going to be other people. Needless to say, they did not show up. That being said he still has a scar from the getting busted open, the blade job. He said after the match, he was riding with JP covered in blood, and apparently there was some little kid on his bike, and he rolled down the window and said, help me, and they drove off.
Oh, my God.
Which I don't know. I guess just
That's
to fuck with
fucked.
the kid. That's pretty funny.
Wait, they said help me.
Lee, covered in blood, looked to the kid and said, help me, and then drove off.
That kid still thinks he's seen someone getting murdered.
Yeah, right?
To this day.
I don't know I don't remember that, but
That's funny.
Anyway, so he said he got back to my house, and my mom said that they could take him to the ER for stitches or super glue it shut. We got it super glued, and it worked great. He said he was incredibly humbled to have won match of the year for that match, aside from him versus Pyro in the UK. That is the only time he had won match of the year. He said it makes him wish that we had trophies and things back then like that we could still display today.
That's very cool because I enjoy whenever people admit that they do take it seriously to that extent because we did fucking care. Like a lot of people will be like stupid message board award for whatever. It's
That
like
was GWN award. Okay.
And you can be humble and that's fine, but like at the end of the day, you did want to win the award. So like I agree with him. I would love to still have
I didn't
trophies.
even realize that we were.
Just your jacket.
It's the ghost from Indiana.
Yeah, Katrina. She heard us talking about deja vu. I didn't even realize that they did year-end awards at that point. We were just doing this match to, tell our story. So the fact that we got nominated for it was a huge, that's pretty cool. That being said, I've gone on record saying that I believe we only won because the video was posted in December.
and it was a great video.
Yeah,
too.
Lee was great. Yeah,
the combination of those two things helped your case a lot.
Yeah, I'm sure.
not saying that's the only reason you won, but it did help.
Right.
Your case.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because especially I'm sure the video editing like that had probably never been seen on the GBYWN,
That was
right?
very good. Yeah.
So Lee also says he does have one major regret. He says, I don't know if it's how we were raised from the link or super shows, or maybe it's just who he was at the time. He wishes he took the opportunity to teach, not judge, the newer people. I don't mean being rude or in character while in a match, but let's say B Snow, for example. While we had a fun time, I didn't treat things that were done. I didn't treat the things that were done improperly as a teaching moment, but more of an attack, insult moment, and he regrets that. So if B Snow or anyone is listening that he may have rubbed the wrong way, I regret that. He regrets that. He wishes things could have been different. Now, he's sure that anyone who doesn't know him is going to think that Lee is a prick, and still to this day. Hopefully, that is not how he is remembered. Getting older with life experiences, he thinks he looks at things differently now. So he wanted to end that particular message with saying, teach more, judge less.
Hell yeah.
My dude, Lee Andrews. And you know what? I can respect the fuck out of that because I am one of the guys that kind of felt Lee Andrews is a bit of a prick. But I understood where it came from, and I understand even more where it comes from after you explained to me the way that he was treated initially on the link. Because whenever that is how you're brought in and you have to wade through everybody's nonsense and bullshit, you maybe believe, especially at a younger age in our early 20s or 19, however old Lee was. I'm sure he was maybe a year older
16.
than us.
When he came back?
Time,
oh, yeah. I'm sorry.
So, like, at that time, he was probably thinking, like, well, this is what I came up through. I am going to do the same thing, and you'll have to wade through the shit to get better. And so, like, I definitely can understand and even definitely respect the fucking change of life views and how things go as you get older. So hell yeah, Lee, fuck yeah, you're the dude. Appreciate that.
Also, you just reminded me, I got in gear in secret in the parking lot, and I tried. My entrance was the first time I'd come out in my Sean Phoenix gear.
I think I'm like, maybe JP knew. I knew what you were doing, but that was just because I was probably making sure everything went the way it was supposed to, you know?
I'm sure I marked out.
Yeah, no doubt about it. You had to. Fucking Best of Sean Phoenix video was on 24/7 in your bedroom.
It's funny. I was thinking, oh man, I should bring those tights. I normally would have. I would wear those in pro. But they've been sitting on a shelf for the longest time because there were holes in them, and they mean a lot to me, being I got them when I was 16.
Yeah.
But I could not bring them because I have since started a project on framing them in a really cool project that I'll show you guys afterwards if you're interested. But JP gave me the idea actually at his house with Alex's
with
gear.
Zane's gear, yeah.
Yeah, because like the tights mean so much to me, and I don't want that to come off as conceited or anything.
No,
like,
I feel
I'm
you.
so sentimental. And
Ed was saying he was going to do the same thing with his tube socks and his dad's underwear.
There you go. It's funny because I did the same thing with his tube socks and his dad's underwear. So that was really weird. But I figured, they're just sitting on a shelf.
I hate all of you.
So that was Backyard Supremacy 3, and while it wasn't the biggest show, day 2 somehow showed improvements over what we were doing at BYS 2.
Yes.
So like BYS 1, an amalgamation, a get together, figure everybody out, let's have our first super show. BYS 2, let's take that same thing and turn it up to 20, not 11. We fucking spiked BYS 1 on its head and did it again with BYS 2. BYS 3 was a bit of a reset almost. It was like you were talking about how it's like the new Super Show era could begin. BYS 3 was like the pilot for the new Super Show era.
Yeah, because it wasn't so
I feel
storyline.
like, honestly, from my current memory, our match and my match with Hitler are probably my cleanest matches. Like, where everything was just fluid and smooth. I don't have a lot of those because that wasn't my style.
Right. Same with me. And I think it's because of the situation that we were in and how far we've come, and like, this is the match where I thought that I was good. Not no longer that I could do this. Like, I'm fucking good now. And Ed's really, I always knew.
And I remember being super excited to post that on the link because, like, we were like, dude, this is fucking sick. Like,
do you remember what you did?
No.
You DM'd it to Scott Henson?
Did I?
I remember that. Yeah, I remember that.
Oh, yeah, and then he gave, like, positive feedback.
You went out of your way. You're like...
And you got a boner,
you're like,
right?
I don't know if we're allowed to say boner on the podcast, but if we are, I'll leave
Are we
it in.
past a minute in?
But yeah, so like, I didn't post it over there. I posted it on GBYWN, and you DM'd it straight to Scott Henson, and he had like a 4-paragraph thing. Like, I like that you guys did this. It's really good. And it was great. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Like, it was so cool to see. And it was what we worked for, man. Getting to the point where we felt like we could have that match, not only that one time, but for me personally, I felt like I wasn't correct, but I was like, I'm going to have this type of match all the time now. Like, if this is what I can do, why not do it? And the answer
gives you the confidence.
Yeah, and the answer is because, like, I'm not in the ring with you, who I've wrestled with 50 times up to this point, and we knew each other inside and out, and every move we wanted to hit, and we just did it, you know?
Exactly.
Eddie, did you message Scott because you knew how much it would mean to Rick?
Yeah.
Is that why? Not
Yeah,
because
definitely.
because Scott was a link guy. It was because
I could have. There was a ton of people I could have picked.
Yeah,
but
right.
Yeah, that was
And I'm
definitely
sure,
a big factor.
Yeah, I'm sure in a way also too the fact of keeping it secret from him. Did you kept it secret from him until we got?
I don't remember.
Yes, I had no idea.
Yeah, I feel like it was more of a secretive thing, and I would imagine that, like, on one hand, it's like, cool, I'm gonna do this, and then when we get this positive feedback, we're gonna send it to Rick and let him know. But also, if Scott shits on it, or if he doesn't pay attention to it, then
Just
I'm not
don't
gonna
say
tell Rick.
anything.
Yeah. And then no harm, no foul.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, yeah.
Definitely. No doubt about it. I'm sure that was part of it. And yeah, we're really proud of that. And Steve, I'm sure, like we were talking about, winning match of the year is a cool thing, no matter why you get it. Like you said, to be in the conversation for it, whether or not you finally win the award.
Yeah, it was cool. I just didn't expect it. I had no idea. I mean, like, genuinely, it was cool. But I mean, like, it would be cool to have a memento.
Yeah.
But it wasn't anything like, I need to put that on a resume. Like, it didn't mean anything to me per se. It was nice to be appreciated in that aspect. Not that I wasn't feeling appreciated. I was more so stoked for Lee, to be honest, to be like, hey, come be a part of
and
this.
then get that.
And get what you may have, you probably should have, got, more often, the appreciation.
And so with that, we're on a good spot if anybody has to pee like me.
Yeah.
It would be a good time to pee.
Captain can go first. Now, does it help to turn the cameras off in the meantime?
If I would have known that, I would have
Yeah.
played it.
Yeah.
What the fuck, Eric?
What's wrong with me?
Is it in there somewhere?
Bro, yeah, hold on.
Hold on.
God damn. Okay,
I'll
well,
take the 2 seconds to go.
No, it is not 2 seconds.
It doesn't even sound like you.
This might be the clip. The time spent.
Fuck. And we're back from taking a piss. So yeah, that was Backyard Supremacy 3. Lee Andrews made both of the music videos for it, and he might make some more in the future. Backyard Supremacy 3, like we said, was a step up for us in the right direction, and it was our last super show of 2009.
Actually, real quick, I just remembered there was one person that was really upset that the show turned into BYS 3, and do you remember who it was? Like, I'm not like saying like they were pissed, but they were like
Was it Devin?
Nope.
I remember Devin really being like, if I would have known this was BYS 3, I would have tried harder to get there.
Well, that's funny. No,
Yeah.
actually, Nutter was like, he was really upset that it was like BYS 3 because he wanted to wrestle you at BYS 3 because he had said that after his match with Snow. He's like, I'm not done until I wrestle you at BYS 3. And he said that he was upset about it because like he just, for some reason, kind of projected his idea of what BYS 3 could be based on how big WrestleMania 3 was. Oh my God. He said, well, clearly it must be, it's the third one.
Right.
Which I thought was so funny.
Oh, that's awesome.
And just because it was our last super show of the year doesn't mean it was our last show of the year. We had a couple Ground Zero shows to hit before the season ends, and if you see this thumbnail here, we got a pretty familiar face finally making his way back to the Suicidal Wrestling Clan. Ground Zero 18.
I think I was sleeping and you filmed the show while I was still sleeping.
Sounds about right.
There we go.
Yeah, I'm curious what I have to say here.
Obviously I haven't been here in a while. I'm going to be honest. I'm up at college. I have no time to come down here.
No time.
In the past couple of days, I've seen some videos. Some pretty cool stuff, I guess. But to be honest, I have no idea what's going on. And I would love for someone to come out here and tell me exactly what's happening.
All right, Sick Rick got you. I'm coming.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people.
Oh, that's not me.
Yeah.
Oh wait, you're kind of like bummed at this point, right?
Yeah, all my friends just turned on me and
I think I turned on you. Well, we'll see.
After this whole during BYS 2, all of CTK decided to turn on me because of Echo. You know what, let's get personal because now it's gotten personal. What JP's doing. I guess he decided to tell them that I was brainwashing them and stuff like that.
So it sounds like he's JP now.
And
Yeah.
And so now I'm basically out on my own. JP's got some vendetta against me. You know, him and I aren't seeing eye to eye. Josh thrown into the mix now. So it's just, I'm glad knowing that you're on my side.
I'm not a pusher. You know me. And I'm not necessarily siding with JP. But when have me and you ever been on the same page?
Oh, call back.
Yep.
Word.
Out of
To be
control.
honest, I'm here for a couple days. I want you.
Alright, so you and me and Matt. That's fine. Alright, then we can.
Hold on, kitty, son.
Hold on, kiddies.
What is happening? A tornado?
I want this match with him.
What makes you more justified with this match?
On me.
You know what? I'm here. You're here.
You're here. He's here.
He's here. You're standing here. He's standing over there. Us two versus you. If you find a partner, that's fine. But if you don't, you're screwed.
You're screwed, bro.
Take it.
That's real cool. You guys all know my friends fucking turned on me.
This guy's got to find a partner and everyone hates him.
There was
Hey, he
Josh
is
coming out of
important.
nowhere, right?
You know what?
Yeah.
I'll come out with you. I got
What a nice guy.
And if you want to see more of what the origin of this story was, if you go back and watch episode 1 of the Backyardi'Yinz podcast, we tell you about ETW. And I'm sure you haven't watched it because really nobody has. It's still sitting under 300 views. So let's pump those numbers up and get some more views on episode 1.
It's a special episode.
It is special. So what do we got here? We got a tag team match.
CTK ETW explodes.
Oh, a tag.
Here we go. There's some animosity here as well.
Just because.
No, I mean these two, they're always wrestling each other.
Exactly right. It's without story, there's animosity.
Yeah. I noticed that like this match. Like
Nice
So
Hurricane
good.
Rana. That was
Yeah.
clean.
JP he didn't for the match, but he had like a green shirt on, and just the colors in this match, like Dom's with your yellow shirt,
Yeah, it
Josh's
stands out.
blue, and JP's green, and then there's
Dang, I've
me.
taken 2 moonsaults.
Jesus.
That was dope.
That was sick.
Oh wait,
That's his partner.
Wait a
That's
second.
his partner.
Oh, shit.
that didn't quite go the way I wanted.
I'm
it
not
to.
tall enough and I don't got the hops.
Okay, wait. BCI just kicked Josh, and then wait. Okay, now all hell's breaking loose.
Is this pretty much how this match ends?
Yeah.
I thought so.
I mean, where can you go after this? We got teammates fighting each other, and
And where does it go?
No
Fucking-
contest.
Yeah.
I love that.
Something about my editing after this is like I kind of, as I talked about in a previous episode, I learned from what everybody else is doing, what I'm watching, what I'm seeing, what I'm going through, and like I kind of started cutting my shit a little quicker after I saw Lee do it, just because I'm like it does make it flow better. You don't see as much, but maybe you shouldn't see as much sometimes.
so is this a triple threat or a
This is a
handicap?
triple threat,
Okay.
yeah. And it gets very hard to see by the end of
Yeah,
it.
it's hard to watch when it's in the dark like this.
Nice to see Kevin and Scott back.
Yeah, against each other like always.
But I mean, like, randomly. What is going on in the background?
Oh my. Oh no.
What the fuck? I don't think I've ever noticed that.
Oh my. That is very fortunate. We'll link tag that at the bottom with a little timestamp so you guys can enjoy it.
was
Big
that?
pile driver punch to the face.
It was me.
Yes, that was you.
Okay.
I recognize that booty anyway.
I wasn't sure, but
That was a sick
it makes
spot.
sense.
That was a very good spot. The end of this match is good. You just really can't see it.
I
It's
love the fact that
unfortunate.
Scott kept that stomp, make them moonsault.
Oh, that was gross.
Yeah.
Kicked it.
Jesus.
All
There's
three.
a win for Scott.
So, Ground Zero 18, any memories of it, Dominic?
Yes, I remember wearing that shirt,
Uh-huh.
and I That might be it.
I think it was just a home for the weekend thing, right?
Yeah. Well, just one thing that I find funny, because like I said, I was up in Clarion, and just relating to Lee, for some reason, we were in contact. I think he was just like always really supportive of my music or whatever. But I got this like phishing email one day, and it was this picture of this girl, and like, you know, you can kind of see her butt, and she's looking in a mirror, and it said, "Hey, I'm looking for a very intimate but not serious relationship, and I will be visiting these specific cities: New York, LA, Miami, and Clarion." And I thought to myself, well, that's odd. That's very convenient. So I guess I was maybe talking to Lee when I found this, and I sent it to him, and I was like, "You got to read this. This is hilarious." Now he's like, it doesn't say that, and I'm like, "What the hell?" And he sends me a screenshot of it, and it says San Antonio.
Oh my goodness!
And I'm like, "That's where you live."
Yeah.
So the email was designed to show the city of where you were located. That's what that reminded me of. So
That's crazy that they had that capability. That reminds me
Yeah.
of those codes on like AOL and
thank
Messenger.
God that I was in Clarion, and not New York,
Pittsburgh. Oh, yeah.
somewhere relevant at
Right.
the time. 'Cause
Yeah.
I thought I was looking for her. She wasn't there.
Yeah.
But
So that's why you came down, because you didn't find her. Like, I may as well
Yeah,
go
it's
hang
like
out.
Lee. I mean, she might actually be in San Antonio
Yeah,
right now.
Start making my way south.
But yeah, that's about it.
Funny. That's a good thing to take away from this.
And that was your last match of 2009 with us, or with anybody else for that matter, unless you were doing yard shows up in Clarion.
No, they wouldn't let me.
I don't blame them. You got to get insurance. You got to rent a building for a weekend, find a ring. It's just, sometimes it's...
It was good to be back, though. I will say, like, clearly, if I'm only back for a short amount of time, if I'm there, I really wanted to be there.
Exactly. That's what I was going to say, right?
Yeah.
Because you were there for the weekend, and it's like, let's have a wrestling show, Dom's home. And literally starting with you on the promo.
Hell yeah.
Like, I haven't been here. Like, tell me some shit. Let's do the thing.
And I could tell, like, I'm usually don't, but I was like a little like skittish or nervous, like giving that promo. Like it was uncharacteristic.
Yeah.
But it was cool.
I could tell that you were uncomfortable as well, just
Yeah.
by watching indie wrestlers do promos, just your body language.
You go from like this, I'm in control of everything, and like my promos, I can just spit them off until you're barely there. So the time you get there, you don't know what to say.
Yeah.
To the point where you're just like, you're literally saying, I don't know what's going on here.
That kind of worked out.
Do you guys still wrestle or what?
Yeah.
Someone come tell me. But by like halfway through, you started to find your groove a little bit, and it sounded a lot more comfortable.
Yeah, the match actually looked decent, so I enjoyed it.
You had another day that Ed wasn't there. I guess he's like Roman Reigns than us, right? You win the belt, you don't show up until you feel like it.
Deal.
A rolling stone gathers no moss.
Yeah. So that was Ground Zero 18 there. I don't have Ground Zero 19 available for us to watch because it's just one match real quick and kind of didn't really need it. But something happened at good old Ground Zero 19 that was specific to you. Do you remember it?
Yeah, because of my project as well.
What year was that?
That
2009.
was 2009. Ground Zero
Great
19 was me versus JP in the singles match, probably because you were away, whatever.
That day was cold as shit.
The reason it happened, it literally just that one show, was because I was growing my stupid facial hair and would be attending a semi-formal dance, and my girlfriend at the time was like, "You should." I was considering cutting it. She was like, "We should probably cut it for that," and I was like, but like I want it to, like mean something. So we just did a match where JP, I also debuted the Wretched in that match too. So
if I would have known that, I would have played it. Let's turn the volume down because I didn't have any of this ready, and I'm going to have to re-render this.
I like how I just decided that those pants, my Ground Zero tights, were zebra tights. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I guess they look like zero, but I didn't want to like ruin my like actual zebra tights.
Right.
So they're just pajama pants. But yeah, so JP and I had a match. As you can see, we clearly shop at the same store.
Yeah, right.
Very similar tires. Finally did a snapmare correctly, so something big did happen on this show.
Ref Josh, and I'm on camera.
With gloves on.
So cold.
Shout out to you guys for making this happen just to appease my own ego.
Yeah, it literally was Steve
That was a
saying
good
we
bump.
have to have a show today.
Yeah. Well, it was
I was so cold, dude.
Look at that. I took his move.
Oh.
Not as good as him. I've never even done it before. Countered. No, it was supposed to be a counter. There we go.
That's the first
Nice.
ratchet. Love to see it.
The debut.
Very nice.
Look at
I'm
this.
glad that I always plan to
Oh!
show this.
We shook hands. No, I thought we buried the hatchet. Oh, that's going to knock me out. What a jerk.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That looks like it hurt more than the chair shot.
So unprofessional,
Yeah.
just grabbing and tugging at the beard.
Yeah.
Why'd he bring that to a wrestling show?
He actually, well, because you want to look good for a camera before you go out there, especially if you get promo pictures taken. If you know there's going to be a photographer there, you can always find somebody that knows how to shave your back, how to trim your hair, how to apply tan.
That makes sense.
You'd be surprised. I think there should be a hairstylist at every indie show and a chiropractor at every show. But
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, so that was legit. Just I
You'd
got
have to pay to wrestle.
What's that?
You would have to pay to wrestle at that point.
Well, I mean, hopefully they do it for free. Or maybe if I give them a T-shirt, I don't know. Maybe they get a little sponsorship on the apron. But yeah, so I finally wanted to debut my new finish, the Wretched, which, as far as I can tell, I invented. I don't remember seeing it anywhere else.
Nope. I saw it one other time.
And it was Facade.
Yep.
Yeah, and Gory.
Right. Yep.
And it was because
It was intentional.
Intentionally
Yes.
because of me.
Yes.
Because at that point, the Blockbuster, a lot of people were kicking out of it.
Yeah,
And
true.
I was like,
Yep.
Maybe it's funny because everyone kicked out of the Wretched because it was such a cool move that everyone wanted to take it. And I, probably should have really protected it.
I was just going to say, I protected the fuck out of the hatchet driver.
Right,
like, I
yeah.
don't care if you want to take it, you could take it, but I'm getting the 3.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, but like, I didn't care about wins and losses. It was just like, I really want to take it, and they wanted that disgusting bump to take. But and then I wanted to change up my look and get rid of my little dumb chin beard. So I wanted to at least make some art out of
Yeah.
it and scratch 2 itches.
And for the 3rd time this year, JP debuts one of our new finishers.
Yep.
He debuted the hatchet driver, debuted the Merc, debuted the Wretched, and all 3 of them placed on. There was like an end of the year finisher of the year thing that was happening, and I uploaded the clips to YouTube and submitted them, and all 3 of them placed somewhere. Like all 3 of them got the recognition.
I sent him a clip the other day. So my 2 favorite moves back in the day was an undertuck somersault and an RKO. I seen a lady in
NXT.
NXT.
Yeah.
She jumps up, hits the second rope, does an
Yeah, I
undertuck,
saw
and
that,
then
yeah.
arc. I'm like,
Yeah.
why didn't I fucking think of that?
Ed, we didn't have a wrestling ring.
That's what I told him.
I know, but still, like, we could have figured out something.
You wrestled in a ring one time. Like I said, if you would have went to BXW, you would have came up with that shit. You would have been doing something like that for sure.
Fair enough.
And honestly, if you would have went to BXW, then fucking we would have 4 more years worth of Great Hack Edgeman matches that we're all missing out on. Like, I told Mike Kunkel every time we went out there, I was like, I'm going to get Ed to come out here one time and we're going to do me and Ed versus you and Marky. And I told him that for years and I just could never deliver it. I tried.
So you never went to Allentown?
No,
I did to hang out.
You went
Really?
twice, right?
Yeah.
BYS 6 and then Jams.
Yeah.
The last show that we did. This was like after the way that the year went, how else do you end the year without like Steve versus JP and Rick versus Hack? It's just it made sense. We were here to do it and we ran with it.
Is this our last match?
No.
Oh, fuck.
It is the ring match.
Oh.
Yeah, right.
Okay. So this is our last match on a base?
I can't guarantee that, but I think yes.
Hey, why didn't you guys ever tell me that my Under Armour shirt didn't fit me properly?
Because we thought you wanted to look weird.
Yeah.
I figured I wear a size small T-shirt, so I'd wear a small undershirt.
Didn't you cut holes in it and put your thumb through the fucking sleeve?
I put it through the sleeves.
Yeah, right. So that's why it fit weird, because it was always being pulled up.
Yeah.
That's true.
Thanks, Dominic. I appreciate you so much, bro. How about JP wearing DC?
Wow, that's surprising. That is surprising. I also, so I'm kind of doing this emo loner gimmick, so I intentionally dyed my hair black and then added a blonde streak intentionally because of backyard wrestling.
Yeah, right.
So don't say I haven't sacrificed for this fucking sport. Okay, look at the length of my beard. Look at the color of my hair.
Oh, Jesus.
JP actually, first time he ever gave a Canadian Destroyer was on me. So
nice.
It felt right to do that and end it with that.
There's my M&M pill shirt.
Wow. Hey.
Super inappropriate.
Just gave me the middle finger. I was just getting ready to say how much I just don't like your attitude now.
It was really cold this day, I think.
This was also cold. Both of these last two shows happened in December.
December 15th.
Yep, day before my birthday.
Look at that. That was interesting.
Yeah, I don't remember us taking this seriously at all. We didn't plan anything.
No, we did not.
It's probably just, hey, let's do this.
Literally, let's just roll around and do some wrestling moves. And the finish was on the fly, too. I remember.
This is like a house show for us.
Very much so. We're so over it.
I wonder why we wanted to wrestle as badly as we did, because surely if it was so cold... I mean, it's not like it was like, oh, we need to get this haircut done for this semi-formal dance on this day. No, like legitimately, this could have just not happened.
I think we did need a bookmark at the end of the year. We needed like the you versus JP. We needed the me versus Ed. Like just because the other thing that would have ended the season, like you and JP, but there was the big like tag team explosion thing and the me triple threat match with the Brumley brothers. It's like there was no end of what happened.
Well, I've never really thought of wrestling having seasons like that, though.
Oh, shit. And that's all three of them taps, dude. Knick-knack, patty
there
whack,
we go.
sick
Still
taps.
champ. Still champ.
And honestly, even whenever Ed won the championship at BYS 3, nobody knew it was coming. I had just won the title at BYS 2 against Steve after like literally years, like we were talking about. Like I kept trying to get the belt and couldn't do it, and I finally get it, and like Ed's like, well, wait a second, I want that. And I'm like, oh, okay, I'll give you a chance, dude. And then Ed wins, which is like, even the people in attendance were like, holy shit, fucking Ed won. Like, how did he get the belt?
Is that like my third and final reign, or fourth and final reign?
Fourth and final reign.
I remember kind of being like, oh, I guess that's the end of that. Like how long like I was kind of in control of the championship, like from you and then Rick, and how like much work we put in to both of those stories. And it's like, oh, Rick's losing it already. Like I was kind of disappointed for you, because I felt like you deserved a longer, not that you,
I understand.
You know, just what I'm saying, like you still could have won, but it was just like, oh, guess you didn't want it that bad.
So here's the thing, right? For me, what I saw was, I know that me and Ed have a 2-year storyline leading up to that moment, and all the stuff that we did to get there. I didn't think of it like I'm now ending my title reign. I thought of it like, Ed's the shit. He got pushed down the card a little bit. I already proved that I'm dope. Let's give the fucking belt back to Ed again and let him be a fucking bad guy.
And that was cool too. That was cool too. You were now a heel after that.
And like understanding like what we were on the precipice of, it's like having a babyface champion go into season 2 as opposed to having what we end up having, which is now Ed as the champion going into season 2. We had like 3 ground zeros, and we'll talk about this all soon, but Ed being the heel champion, defending against wrestler A, wrestler B, wrestler C, and just having banger after banger with the strap leading up until he eventually loses it. It is no doubt in my mind that I made the right decision that day to drop the belt to Ed. I didn't fucking need a belt.
Right.
It was just, Ed needed to be the champion to send us where we needed to go. So, like, honestly, I was just, finally, I got the one. That's all I need. Like, I was the champ for a day.
I wish that Ed, you and I could have had a
big rematch.
Yeah, with the roles reversed. That would have been cool. I mean,
that would have been sick.
Granted, I was still a heel, but I was more of a tweener. That like
Sean Phoenix versus Hack Edgeman.
Yeah, I mean, like even like something like that. Like, because I don't think I was only ever babyface once. Like I'd have like a match with Rick. I was a baby. My WrestleFest 9, like random one-offs. But as far as like SWC I don't think I was ever a face.
No.
Right.
But yeah, and that's all in the future. But for now, that is the end of SWC proper in 2009. Ground Zero 20 was as many as we got through. So we did 20 Ground Zeros and some random like Lenny Budd Memorial, all the stuff that we've talked to up to this point from NWW Pittsburgh's end up until today. It's only been 2009.
Wow.
So many fucking things happened in 2009.
A lot of growth.
A lot of growth too. Yeah, absolutely. From like literally the year starts with Jimmy P and Deke the Freak, and it ends with that. You know what I mean? Like Leandros came to town, and Zayn and Yakuza J, and all, like, you know, that fucking cool ass shit happened in 2009. But 2009 was not over yet. Somehow, like, we found a way to squeeze out the last couple of weeks of 2009, and everybody went and finished this chapter of 2009 in their own manner. So we'll talk about that next episode, and I think we're going to bring probably JP back in here for that one and let him tell us about him going to Florida. You went to Indiana, and me and Ed stayed home to wrestle on a frozen base, so we'll discuss all that. We'll also discuss the GBYWN 2009 awards like we talked about a little bit tonight. And I sent out a ballot to the Revival crew, all the guys that were there, the guys that watched it, people that some of them watched it now and decided like to join in and send in a ballot just from shit that they've seen. And I put a playlist out so they could watch it. We have 17 people that replied to this so far. I still have a couple ballots out there, but we'll discuss who won the posthumous. Is that how you say that?
Posthumous.
Posthumous.
Posthumous?
I don't think any of that is correct, but I can't say
So,
either,
the superlative.
Yeah, the end of the year, 2009 superlative.
The retrospective.
There you
superlative.
go. Love it. Yeah. And we'll see how all this stuff aged in the eyes of our friends and contemporaries.
I just want to say that if I win any of them, it doesn't mean anything to me. It's just backyard wrestling. If I lose, what the fuck do any of you guys know?
Right. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that. But for now, I want to end tonight's episode by Steve telling me what his least favorite tattoo that he has is.
The unlucky number 13 behind my ear. It was a flash tattoo on Friday the 13th in Chicago. And the flash design doesn't quite... It ended up being bigger than I wanted, and it had like drips running down it, and the artist leaned it to hide it behind my ear. So gravitationally, the drips running down don't make any sense. And if I could remove it, I would.
So the anti-gravitational 13 tattoo is the final answer.
Especially because it's behind my deaf ear, and I really want to put like the deaf, like the mute logo, and I can't. There's a fucking dumb
It really is
tattoo.
an unlucky number, isn't
Yep.
it?
Golden Triangle Media out.